Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 149 of the Xbox Hall Gamers podcast. This week, I am joined by Jake.
Hello.
And Shane.
Hello.
This week, it's a bit of a quiet one. We're kind of in the games. Most of the games are out for this year. I think what are we waiting on? It's basically just Indiana Jones, right, at this point.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But news is also pretty quiet. The Game Awards stuff the nominations got announced. I suppose that is a bit of an interesting one. I should probably touch on. But
I'd love to talk about that. I got opinions.
Yeah, definitely. I'll pull up that list actually. I don't have it on here right now, but we'll do that in just a minute. As always, we do this show live on Twitch. Come say hi. Xbox Hall of Gamers, place to hang out. You know the deal. It's a podcast. Thank you very much, Kiku, for subscribing. Very much appreciate it. Thank you for giving us your Prime. But let's start it off with a couple of community questions we got here. We got one here from Left for Legacy, who says, what game had the best achievement art?
Achievement art?
Yeah, it's one of those things, right, where I guess, unless you're like on TA or opening up the folders, you don't often actually see the art for the achievements. And, you get something
really.
like...
Not like you used to on the 360, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was way more of a thing on the 360. Golly jeepers. I've definitely set some as my background before. Like that I was like, that's
I'm looking through my list. And like the last so many games I've done, it's just the game art with like a little tiny image on it.
Yeah.
Every single one of these.
Or it's like a little square of something that they just kind of just chuck on there. That's like a little tiny icon or something. Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
Power World has like full-on game screenshots, so that's not bad.
Yeah. One that springs to mind, Halo was always good at this. I mean, Halo 5 in particular had like a lot of like behind-the-scenes kind of like concept art stuff of like guns and skyboxes and that kind of stuff, which was always very, very cool. Some people used it for their backgrounds and stuff. I think, did Halo MCC do the same thing? I'm actually going to double-check.
I feel like I've used Destiny achievement backgrounds before.
Yeah.
I feel like I've used Armored Core 6 achievement backgrounds before.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've done Dead Rising achievement backgrounds before. Dead Rising 3. Golly gee. I'd have to boot up my Xbox and look at my list. But I know I've definitely come across games that I'm like, that has a lot of really cool art. I'm going to change my background to that for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys do that?
My background right now is my own screenshot from Armored Core 6.
I'm still using Armored Core 6 is amazing. I'm still using the theme they sent us for Jedi Survivor, I think it was, the Star Wars one. It has the cool warped background and all that kind of Force stuff. But the actual like achievement art for the game is like the most basic shit in the world. It's like a blue square with like an icon on it. So I don't know. I feel like, I think that given that trophies are kind of the main thing these days, you kind of have to look at like first party games for the most part to see like what kind of achievement art you might get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like all these are so lazy.
Yeah.
You definitely get the like achievement art nowadays that is literally just a bronze, silver, gold, and gold trophy.
Yeah, exactly. And
Frightenings are weird.
Funny.
I'm looking through Frightenings right now. It's just really weird images. Like, what in the world?
Yeah, I gotta I haven't looked at the Final Fantasy achievements art. Yeah, those are all
Frightenings. Oh, it's not showing much. But Frightenings is just a bunch of weird stock photos, maybe? I don't know who this old couple is. Someone's grandparents, maybe? I'm not sure.
I like it.
Gears 5 has got some good ones actually. They did a kind of similar thing to Halo, where there's some regular stuff, some behind the scenes stuff, some like sort of like concept key art and that kind of thing. Not enough for me to want to play the game, obviously, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like achievement art is one of those things that just kind of... They kind of tried to make a bit of a thing about it in the early Xbox One days, where they were like, oh, get more for your achievements. You can use them as backgrounds and all this kind of stuff. But I feel like it just...
Well, for a while, you couldn't even use them as backgrounds, which I thought was the dumbest thing.
That was real dumb.
When the Xbox first came out and they had all these cool achievements art, I was like, this should be... You know what? I'm going to go... I'm going to say the best achievement art, because it's literally just art pieces, is Scorn. I just pulled up Scorn, and I'm like, holy shit, these are all sick.
I just was about to say Scorn too. Yeah, they're really cool.
These are all so sick. They're literally just H.R. Geiger paintings, basically.
Oh, that is fucking
awesome.
Especially the 001 one.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
cool.
Those are sick. I might set
Yeah,
one
see,
of
here's
those
an
as
early
my
game.
background.
Rise. Rise has pretty good ones.
Yeah, right.
Did Rising have any? Oh, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster actually had pretty good art. Nice. See, I don't even look at them.
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
never
Like
have
I
known.
just again, I'm interested in the
Right.
achievement itself. Like I'm looking at the ones for Metaphor, and they're like okay, they're pretty. Like there's nothing.
Well, I think what this just emphasizes is how far the actual achievement GUI has come, or
Mm,
has like how far it's fallen, basically.
yeah.
Because I don't look at my achievements on the Xbox. Like
No.
I'll look at them, like I'll hit the guide button and scroll over, but like I won't go to the full menu. Like on the 360, I would go to the full menu constantly.
Yeah.
But I don't
To be
look at my
fair,
achievements.
I mean, the main thing that the Xbox would offer if they used it was tracking. But like almost no games use the in-game tracking. It'd be so nice.
Yeah, if they use it more.
Yeah.
I've
Way
never
more.
understood why Xbox or why TA tracks some things that aren't actually tracked on the Xbox. That's like, so you have
I've never seen that.
you're tracking the value. So why?
I mean, I guess sometimes the developers just don't put the value forward for whatever reason, right? It's
I guess, but it's like
Yeah.
clearly trackable and mobile from an API.
Yeah.
That the TA is pulling. It's like,
it's a weird thing, isn't it?
I don't know why that's happening. It's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of my recent games are just bad achievement art, unfortunately. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think to your point, Shane, you're exactly
Was
right.
it-
Last time I looked at achievements on the list, I only go into the achievements page
Dude.
on the Xbox when something doesn't fucking unlock properly and I'm trying to force it
Yeah.
to.
You know what's crazy? You know what's an injustice and should have cool achievement art but doesn't?
Mm.
Pentiment.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that game is art. Like,
It is criminal that this game has generic ass achievement art. Literally just squares with
Just,
icons
yeah.
in it. That's crazy.
and that was an
A short
Xbox
hike has
exclusive
pretty
for a bit
ones.
anyway. It's crazy that it's.
Yeah,
like,
it was. It was their baby. They literally are like Pentiment only on Xbox. Play now with Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
That was like the whole thing.
I was like looking at like the Alan Wake ones, and I was like, oh, surely this game will have some fun art. It's like, no, it's just like mini icons and squares and stuff again. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the original Dead Rising also has good art. So Capcom's always on the ball. It's
alright.
like
Zero Escape is pretty good art.
Oh yes, actually
Horror
yes,
games.
like yeah, that whole sort of Spike Chunsoft actually tend to do relatively good. Like all of their stuff, like Danganronpa is similar.
welcome to the going through our list of achievements, looking at art
Exactly,
podcast.
yeah.
I'm just kind of having fun now. Yeah, this is a great question because I'm just going back and looking at
Wow.
What are your lists?
Magic Duels actually had pretty good art. Look at that. F that game, but cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Magic Duels did have good
Really
art.
good
I
art.
do remember that. Yeah.
I'm just having a look at the Danganronpa ones now. Actually, it's the same thing.
Oh, I'd have been so surprised if I opened up Kong Skull Island and had good art.
Can you
but it did
imagine?
not.
I saw that was on sale.
Would've
This
been
week,
amazing.
I was tempted, but
The hidden reason to play
Do
Kong
it.
Skull Island is the achievement art.
I may pick it up. We'll see.
Like, that game's a travesty, but it's a very completable travesty. So
Well, I already have my game lined up for my next milestone, but this could be the following one. You never know. That's like $10. Maybe I will just buy it. All right, I'll do that after this. Oh god, this Black Friday sale is just like I've been going back to the list because it's such a huge list. I'm just going back every now and then and being like, oh, yeah, I guess I
Yeah.
can grab that. I picked up what was it? It was the Final Fantasy Stranger in Paradise.
Ooh, my friend's just burning through all those side games. He says they're really good.
Yeah, and I was like, it was like 50% off for the like complete edition with the DLC. So I was like, fuck it, I've heard this was like an interesting experiment, even if it wasn't amazing.
So tell me
And
this
Limp
isn't a
Bizkit's in
travesty.
it.
I've been going through all these games I've been playing recently, and the first one I hit since Scorn and Dead Rising that had good art was My Little Pony: A Maritime Bay Adventure.
Oh yeah.
There's like actual art in the achievements. That's funny.
Jesus Christ.
Go figure.
Well, yeah. But clearly not a priority for a lot of devs these days, unfortunately. So Cameron, when you're doing your game, you need to make sure there's some good art with it.
Yeah, don't be like Pentiment and make a game about art and then not put achievement art.
Yeah, exactly.
Like just have an intern take some screenshots, man. I don't understand how that's so hard.
Yeah.
Like
It's like you guys have the concept docs, like just put them on there, like do some cool like wireframes or something.
also yes.
All right, next question we got here is from my question asker extraordinaire Isaac, who says, "Hey guys, are there any games you're rushing to finish by the end of the year?" Now, I will say we obviously have our Bimestral Burden, a 2-month-long contest or challenge to try and finish up as many 2024 games as possible for November and December, just to get your Game of the Year grab bag in there. So we got lots to talk about when it comes to Game of the Year chat next year. But I guess including that as well as like anything that didn't come out this year, is there anything you guys are kind of like, ah, shit, I need to get this done?
I mean, I'll talk probably more about it when we were just talking about what we played, but like I have slogged so down on Final Fantasy. I don't know if like just straight shooting 1 through 6 was the play.
Really?
Because I am
really
I
back to
just
back.
Yeah, I just got through Point of No Return 2 out of 3 on Final Fantasy 5, so I'm officially a little over 2/3 of the way done. And it is starting to slog down. And I'm just like, just finish it and then finish 6. I'm thinking about not doing 6 right away though, just because like I don't want to force myself into a shitty experience with 6 because it's supposed to be so good.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's a lot of RPGing at once though.
I know. Yeah. I'm definitely starting to get that like that. It's my own fault. Of just like I'm not playing games because the game I want to play is starting to feel like a slog.
Yeah.
Or not the game I want to play, but the game I feel I need to play and need to beat is starting to feel like a slog. And because of that, I don't want to go play games, or when I do, I'm very slow. And so I'm just like, I should just finish Final Fantasy V, like just get it done, and then take a break from Final Fantasy, find a different game that I want to like sink my teeth into. So
JRPGs in particular are brutal for that. Like I finished Metaphor and I was like, oh, man, I have so like I need to do like the mana games, and I want to do Octopath Traveler 2, and I'm just like, I cannot do another JRPG back to back to back. Like even if the game, even if the other game that I play is nearly as long, I just need something different.
Yeah.
I have a huge fucking list of stuff that I'm trying to finish. A lot of Game Pass stuff. I'm trying to get through. I'll talk about some of the stuff that I am playing later on. But yeah, I've got both of those trial games, or the mana games. So it was the Trials of Mana and I can't remember what the other one was.
Legend?
Yeah. So yeah, so a couple of mana games. I got Flock on there, Magical Delicacy. I think it was, what was the other one? Tachia, I think it was called.
Like the Pacific Islander Zelda game.
Yeah, it looked interesting.
That game was really cool.
And like I feel like not a lot of people talked about it, just kind of got glossed over. So I was like, oh, I kind of want to give it its time. But yeah, I'm rapidly running out of time because I'm leaving halfway through December, so I do not have a huge amount of time to finish games, and I have about 4 that I'm working on at the moment that are really taking most of my time. So we'll see how many more of them I get done. There's also stuff leaving Game Pass that I feel like I have to do, or some of them at least that I did, and I've been umming and ahhing around the last couple. But I don't know. Like people were talking about I saw Rapture was talking about Rollerdrome, and it being like a 12-hour completion.
Oh yeah.
And it's leaving, and I was like, it's like I've got a week to do it, but I played like the tutorial of it, and I'm like, oh man, this is just, I get it. Like it's like there's shooting in this game and stuff, but it is very much like do tricks, half pipe kind of thing. And I'm like, I really don't think the game's for me, so I'm probably going to let it go. But it always sucks when you miss something that's like, because Rollerdrome got really, really good reviews. People really loved it, loved the art style. Private Division obviously is in a bit of a rough spot right now. So it's just too many games, too little time, as is always the case. But yeah, anything else from you guys that you kind of like, oh shit, we really need to get this done before the end of the year?
I don't know about the end of the year, but I'm working on Power World before Nintendo shuts down.
Good point, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Are they going to delete it from everyone's consoles? Is that what's going to happen? I bought it.
I mean, they could do injunction. You never know.
Yeah.
When the lawsuit started, I bought it because I was like, that was what I thought maybe was the biggest thing, is it could just be pulled away, like not be able to be sold anymore at the least. But honestly, if Nintendo yanks it out of my hard drive, they yank it out of my hard drive.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world, right? I mean,
Nintendo will, honestly.
I hear it's a good game though. That has been on my like maybe list to play because that is technically a game from this year. So
Yeah, like you guys have been saying, I'll talk about it later. But yeah, I've been enjoying it.
But yeah, Isaac, what kind of games are you working on? I know you're a busy man. I imagine you probably got to pick and choose what you're going to be playing. So let us know. All right, let's get into the news. There isn't a huge amount this week. We'll start with the sort of small stuff up front, and then we'll talk about the Game Award nominations after this. But first one is Star Wars Outlaws is just dropped a huge patch for a bunch of like big minor and minor major changes, but the main one being that apparently they made some big changes to stealth. So now that one of the biggest complaints that the game got was that its stealth sections were kind of not great. And because they can't really like rebuild them or anything, they've basically just said, oh yeah, we've taken out like the instant fail condition of any mission. So if you get discovered, you can just basically shoot your way out of the situation, assuming you're a good enough aim and you don't get, overwhelmed.
Is there like incentive now? Do they give a player incentive to pass with stealth?
I mean, I guess it's like easier. Like you get like less fights, it's less likely for you to just get killed, or I guess the fights will probably take longer than the stealth does. But there were a lot of complaints around. Again, a lot of situations in this game you could basically shoot your way out of already. But it was certain things like certain Imperial bases. I think again, I haven't played it. I wish I could ask Keo about this, but. Some Imperial bases, you basically were like, oh, if you got seen, you got sent back to like 5. It felt like 5 rooms back from a checkpoint.
Gross.
A lot of instant fails and stuff. Yeah, people do not like that.
Yeah. They sent out a whole fucking big email about it. Keo posted it on the Discord if you want to give it a read if you didn't happen to see it. But yeah, basically, rather if you caught, so this doesn't mean that sneaking is no longer a viable or preferable option in some cases. Rather, if you're caught while sneaking, the objective won't fail or reset you to the last checkpoint. Instead, you'll seamlessly transition into combat. We know many of you enjoy the stealth approach. It was important for us to preserve, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, sure. So, yeah, and apparently they've made some other changes. I'm just looking at like notable changes. Yeah, the stealth stuff. Enemy AI and detection's been different, so you get notified when you're being detected. Weak points have been added, so you can trigger explosions and stuff. They've retuned some of the combat to make it more fun, and being able to keep handed like two-handed weapons. Again, the combat was also like not great for a game that's like, well, the game is like stealth, exploration, and combat, and the stealth was not good, and the combat apparently was not great, and exploration was okay. It really feels like a big middle-of-the-road game, but for something that was such a huge budget thing for Ubisoft, it obviously is not doing super, super great. I am probably going to play it probably in the new year. I don't think I'll get it done before the end of this year, but I'm going to grab Ubisoft Plus and just kind of probably smash through it, I think.
Yeah, I'll get there. I still haven't done Jedi Survivors. That's the second one, right?
Yeah, so I've
Jedi Survivors. Yeah, I bought it. Was stoked about it. I still haven't done that, so I want to do that. And then I'll probably jump to Outlaws.
Yeah.
It's on Ubisoft Plus, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it is currently. Yeah. So if you want Ubisoft Plus, then like that's the way to play it. I don't think I'd pay a full price for it. And I believe Ubisoft Plus usually comes with the DLC. So there's already a new update out for it with some achievements. So it sounds like they're going to be trying to support the game for a little while at least. It also got a new creative director recently, which is kind of a weird thing with the game post-launch.
Yeah, I was going to comment on that. Like, I'm sure they're behind a lot of these changes.
Yeah, I guess they really want to try and right the ship, considering how much they've invested into it. What else we got? Stalker 2 came out, and it's a mess. I mean, which is not a huge surprise because Stalker 1 was the same way. But apparently they've got a big day one patch that came out and fixed a lot of issues. But there are a lot of fixes apparently in the work. This is very much putting the tracks in front of the train as it goes. So
considering their situation, I don't blame them.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think this is
the fact they released it, like, good for them.
The fact the game came out is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I am curious to see kind of, again, like initial reviews from reviewers who were on the review build pretty, like, I think they were like 7s at the sort of 7.5 mark.
I think 7, 7/8. Yeah.
Yeah, where I
know Stalker's got like a crazy cult following, but I kind of like forgot about it, and then like 2 days before it came out, I was like, the news was just like Stalker's coming, and then it came out, and then like the day after I just heard nothing about Stalker. I was like, Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was a very felt like a very underwhelming like launch.
I mean, like, while obviously Microsoft was like Stalker 2 was a big announcement for when they managed to get that for Game Pass day one, right?
Yeah.
Stalker has always been a very niche franchise. Like it's
Yeah.
like very much
Yeah.
in that that Armor vein of like quite hardcore, like quite brutal, unforgiving kind of first person shooter. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't it hard?
yes,
Like it's
apparently.
supposed to be mean.
Yeah, unfair in a lot of ways actually. And it sounds like the bugs and stuff definitely didn't make it any easier. So I'm curious to see kind of if it'll have a bit of a resurgence in the new year and more people will get to it, or if we hear more about it. But I don't know. Like I was somewhat interested in it, but I'm kind of Jake. I was the same as you. Like I kept forgetting that it was coming out. Cameron was very very excited for it and kept talking about it. So maybe he's going to give it a go. I guess we'll see how he feels about it. Something we talked about a couple of weeks ago, but it's finally here. Game Pass Ultimate members can now stream some of their own games. So this is something that Phil Spencer promised was going to happen before the end of the year, and looks like he was right.
It's not how I thought that was gonna go.
Mm.
When I heard that personal library cloud streaming was coming, I thought like it was just gonna be your personal library was like able to be cloud streamed. But
Yeah.
it sounds like it feels like they just added more games to cloud streaming
Basically,
compatibility.
stuff that's non Game Pass are now available to be cloud streamed, which I guess
Yeah.
kind of makes sense because it's streaming from their
Which,
servers, right? They have to.
I guess.
Load the
Yeah.
games
I mean, I
themselves, I
can
guess.
see, but yeah, that's fair. I guess I didn't think about it logistically, but like, I guess that's not how I saw this going when they said personal library cloud streaming was coming.
Yeah,
I did. I'm sure the rights they have to work through and the contracts to get together
Sure.
are a pain. So
Sure.
yeah, it's just similar to what was it? Nvidia's GeForce thing that they were doing. I think is a sort of similar case where they put out a bunch of stuff initially, and then a bunch of the publishers were like, yeah, we didn't authorize this at all. Under no circumstances can you stream our game. So they had to cut back or work on deals. So I imagine Microsoft are probably in a similar spot. But
That makes sense.
I mean, again, everything that's on Game Pass is streamable currently, and so the stuff they've added is some of the larger titles.
Most.
50 games, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk, Space Marine 2. Curious what else, actually. It's I'm kind of looking to...
Phasmophobia, I think, was on that list.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Visions of Mana is on there. Plucky Squire. A lot of
Balatro,
Oh, geez, that's dangerous, yeah.
Final Fantasy 1 through 6, Hades.
Hogwarts
Actually,
Legacy. Canterbury.
Actually, kind of a cracked list.
It's like, yeah, like if I had this list of games to play, I'd be pretty happy, actually, to be honest.
Yeah,
Looks pretty good.
for sure. I mean, I don't know why I'd do this over console streaming
Sure.
still,
Yeah.
but I guess for the people who don't have a console that are just taking advantage of Microsoft's streaming, like those kind of people could be out there.
I mean, I guess if you bought
Maybe.
the game and
Yeah.
for some reason or another, or you don't have a console anymore, or I mean, in my
You bought
classic
it-
case, like
you're-
TV is being used or Xbox is being used for something. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're a PC game passer instead of a.
True. Yep.
You don't actually have an Xbox. You just use the Xbox app, and now you can stream your. I could
My
see some
biggest-
use cases, I suppose, but
My biggest question mark is that you have to play over a browser. You can't do this with the app yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Currently, it has
That's
to be in the
weird.
browser. I guess functionality wise, they're still working some shit out, but
interesting.
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's still just like for me, like I said, I could see some use cases, I suppose, but for me, console streaming is just going to continue to be the move, be the way.
And it works really well. I just did it
It
at work
does.
just last week because I accidentally left PayPal running or Palworld running overnight, and I logged in pretty quick at work and used my phone. Apparently, the console streaming on your app on your phone now has the virtual buttons, so you can just play without a controller now too.
actually, I didn't realize
So,
that. Okay, yeah,
that's awesome.
It's been a while since I've done
Yeah.
that.
I anytime I go home for the holidays, I just bring a laptop and I stream into my Xbox, and that's how I play games when I'm visiting family, and it works fantastic every time. So
Yeah, I'm I'm going to be in the States, so I'm hoping that I can do something similar, but I guess we'll see how it works.
Ooh, that one might be tough.
Yeah, that's the tricky bit, right? Is that like, 'cause I'm going to be.
That's a lot of hops.
That's a lot of hops. So
That's a lot of hops.
Oh boy. So I might just have to load my PC up with some stuff. Who knows? On my laptop. Yeah. So it's just interesting, and we'll
Just do
see how they
the
kind of.
raw dog cloud streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it might actually work better in the US, considering they've probably got more servers than they do.
You'll
here.
be closer, less hops.
Yeah, less hops in that regard, at least. Speaking of hops and servers, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 came out. Another day one Game Pass thing that kind of got announced and then disappeared. They seem to have a lot of those recently. It basically fell over and exploded like immediately as soon as people tried to play it, which I think the original had a similar 2019 had a similar issue when that first came out.
I think so, right?
Yeah. So history repeats itself. Apparently, there's I saw a lot of memes on Reddit of people just posting pictures of servers on fire and things like that. Of just like the launcher just would not let you even get into the game because there were just too many people trying to play. But apparently, they've kind of fixed some of the issues, brought additional capacity online. I just wanted to just highlight that like the game came out because no one's talking about it. I didn't see a lot of reviews or anything.
I saw a little bit.
Yeah,
I just saw some
actually.
TikToks of people playing it. It looked. I mean, it looked. I saw somebody highlighting the map. They were like, "The map's crazy. It's a 1-to-1 of the world." The
Wild.
achievement list doesn't look as. I mean, unless I don't know what the 20 base certifications in Korea are. No one's got that yet.
Yeah.
And purchase 5 aircrafts in Korea. No one's got yet, but someone's got the accumulate 50 hours, the total flight time. You can probably system clock scum that,
Sure,
I'd imagine.
yeah.
So that's probably why. But I mean,
100 stars.
game's been out for just a little bit, and there's currently only two achievements that have not been obtained. So,
Yeah. So I guess
it doesn't look nearly as brutal as the last one.
I wonder if they're going to add more to
Ooh,
it.
that's
though.
tempting then.
This does definitely feel like more of a.
Oh, that's
platform.
also true.
Yeah, like this. If anything's going to get additional content, it'll be fucking Flight Simulator, right? But it's usually like more topographical stuff as opposed to like achievements. But I guess
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if they continue to support it from an achievement standpoint. But
yeah,
so far, I would do this list based on what I'm seeing, I guess.
yeah, me too. I think once there's some guides out and I've got a better understanding of kind of what kind of investment it is, but I'm definitely interested. Like,
Yeah, I'll have to go buy a 5 terabyte hard drive just for the game install.
True.
But
true. Fuck yeah. There's a lot of that going around recently.
the TA says 50 gigabytes. I'm calling cap. There's no way.
Well, I mean, I guess like how much of it are they cloud streaming? I guess.
I got it. Oh, because they did say they were doing that. That's right. I
Part of
forgot
the reason why
about
it's just
that.
not working because they're leaning too much on the.
They're literally rendering the game from the cloud in real time.
Yeah, is this their like
insane.
first game really leaning on that?
Too many Bing maps.
I mean, I know they said that Crackdown was supposed to, but I don't think it ever really did anything with
Crackdown
that.
multiplayer apparently
So.
did do with the destruction physics or some shit.
Yeah,
but
but-
no one played that.
But this is like the world, so
Yeah,
might be a little more.
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
issue.
We've come a long way since Crackdown 3. I'll say that.
That's insane, actually, to have a world that's a 1-to-1 replica of Earth rendering in real time from cloud servers. I get it. Fair enough. Fair enough. The issues now,
you got the
I
No
get
Man's Sky people being like, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Jesus.
Look at this monstrosity. And then last main story here is Starfield's apparently added some more mod support stuff, which now apparently verified creators can make their mods achievement friendly. So, this is something that was a bit of a bugbear for some of the people with Skyrim and Fallout was that a lot of the achievement stuff and mods, also a lot of the mod stuff would disable achievements. So now apparently creators have the option to change it or not. They've also put out some other updates and other bits and pieces, but also achievements won't retroactively unlock on some stuff. So you have to, but we'll see. I guess
I'm stoked. I'm stoked for that because I've always wanted to play the console versions of. I mean, I have Fallout 4 and the Skyrim remaster, and playing those games with mods would sound sick. Just like little quality of life mods or graphical mods or what, just like me, I don't know what mods are out there, but it's always like, oh, I can't mod it because it will disable achievements. I definitely don't think I would take advantage of any, like, I'm sure this opens Pandora's box of people creating mods that just unlock all the achievements. Like, that's like, how do you avoid that if you're going to allow mods that unlock, or mods that will allow achievements to unlock? Like, somebody's going to just make the mod.
Wasn't like certain kind of creators who do that?
Yeah, I think it's like verified, but I think like
yeah, so I don't think they'd let that happen.
Who knows what verified is, right? Like, how hard is it to get a are you a verified creator if you send an email to Bethesda and like they, 24 hours later you're approved or something, or like, is there an actual genuine approval process? Who knows what that looks like, right?
So that being, look at the Starfield, like there's a creation page where you can kind of have a look at like what they currently have there at the moment. Who these verified creators are and kind of what they've built, but
quick recipe, yummy.
But I mean, if there's any game that really needed some mod support, it's this fucking game. I'll say that.
I was going to say, that being said, even if there was that kind of mod that would unlock everything, I would love to just play through the game casually and get achievements normally with some extra mods. So I'm stoked. That sounds really sick.
Yeah. I'm also curious to see what they kind of do with Starfield in the future, because it sounds like they want to. I mean, they want to get some more out of their investment. We talked a couple of weeks ago about how like it really would probably benefit from a sequel, and it seems like the kind of game that had some good bones, but just kind of poor choices in terms of how they structured some of the game. But yeah, interesting to see that kind of the mod support stuff is continuing on console, which isn't always the case. We kind of get left out in the cold sometimes. All right, I'm going to pull up the Game Awards nominations, and I figured we can have a bit of a chat about them. Let's have a look. Game Awards. I don't know why this wasn't on my list. I guess TA is just not covering it for whatever reason, or they aren't.
That's weird that they're not. I guess maybe because they don't really have a single game up for Metaphor Fantasio, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah,
there's not a whole lot of Xbox games.
No, that's
exclusive on the list.
What else is new?
Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong. Oh man, all kinds of Xbox fun.
I mean, if we talk about, I suppose we can just start with Game of the Year, right? So nominations, Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, which got a lot of people very, very spicy about. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Metaphor Refantasio are kind of our 6 nominees. What do we think? Just like initial thoughts.
I don't get spicy about things anymore. I'm too old for that kind of internet fire drama trolling. Sure. But I do think Shadow of the Erdtree being nominated is an complete injustice. It makes 0 sense. It should not have been nominated. That's crazy. If you want a DLC to win an award, make a DLC category. Yeah. Like that's it. That's what you do.
I'm trying to remember.
That's crazy.
So, Devil's Advocate, we don't have that. And I think a lot of people
then it doesn't get nominated.
That's
it. That's just it. Then sorry. Game Awards people. You sucked at your job then, and you didn't you didn't have a DLC category before. Maybe you should have. Whoopsie daisies. Oh no, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions, right? Like,
yeah.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Jeff had COVID most of the year. He didn't have time, so now here we are.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm on your side. I don't think DLC should be Game of the Year. That's insane. Like that doesn't make sense. But then again, Devil's Advocate, people say that's like their best gaming experience of the year, and I don't know. Like, where do you draw the line?
I know Phantom Liberty got some look-ins last year, right, for some stuff. Because I think did Cyberpunk win? Was it like best ongoing game or something from?
Yeah, you can chuck it in best ongoing.
What?
You can chuck Shadow. Chuck Shadow of the Erdtree in best ongoing if you want to have the DLC represented.
That would track actually.
People got very spicy about that too, considering how many games got left off that list. But I don't know, in terms of like, if we look at the list in general, like, is there anything any of you guys disagree with outside of like Shadow of the Erdtree? What would you put there instead? Like anything this year that you like?
You could put Silent Hill 2, which is a remake, which is what people are crying about. But still, you could put Silent Hill 2. You could put Stellar Blade. You could put Space Marine. You could put Helldivers. Like, there's so many
Yeah.
games you can put there that are full games that I feel like. And the biggest thing that I think people are frustrated about. I mean, some people are just frustrated because they're surface level trolls, and they're frustrated because they're also frustrated about Poker 2 being nominated for a Game of the Year award.
Sure.
Which, fuck you. Put some respect on Balatro's name.
Listen,
First of all,
Balatro's amazing, but I think we can all agree that's like Jeff's. Okay, look, there's indie cred.
Yeah,
Here we
indie,
go,
yeah.
and put it on the list.
It
Like,
might be.
ain't no way
but
that's
it
winning.
deserves it.
It's not going to
It
win.
might
I
be
will give
Jeff's
you
Oh no,
that.
indie
not
cred.
winning.
I've heard it's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to win either,
No,
but
no,
it
no.
deserves it.
Yeah.
It deserves it. It deserves to be on game the nominated.
People
For
will
sure.
not shut the fuck up about it enough that I think that it deserves to be on the list. Yes, that's.
Oh, what the hell is I gonna say? Hell, I had a point. I had a thing. Someone else go, and come back to me.
I mean, this year is like looking at this game. So I have played one of these games on this list, and I played it last month. And oh man, it's usually I have a bit more of an opinion on like Game of the Year stuff. Like I actually pulled up the list of like what was nominated for the last couple of years. Like Alan Wake 2 was on the list for last year. Baldur's Gate 3, Resident Evil 4. You know.
I remember what I was gonna say.
Yes.
I think a
Yeah,
bigger reason, other than the surface level trolling, that people or the surface level just looking at it as it's a DLC, that people are upset that Shadow of the Erdtree is because Elden Ring was already recognized, and there are brand new full games that also are deserving of recognition, and Shadow of the Erdtree is taking up a spot of another game that could be recognized when this game was already recognized.
Yeah.
And I think that's where some people are like, that's not fair. And I'm like, I agree. That's kind of not fair.
I totally agree. Yeah. I 100% agree. I really don't think it should be on there. As good as I've heard that it is, and people rave about it, like Elden Ring.
We get it. Elden Ring is good. God,
like, yeah, big fucking surprise.
Duh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not too. I mean, I think it's stupid that it's on there. Honestly, these award shows are whatever. But I don't think I'm going to be actually like bothered that it's on there unless it wins. If it wins, then I'm actually going to be like,
That'd be so wild if it wins.
Be real.
If it wins, there's no way it's winning, right? They can't.
If it does, it's just like the show's a joke. Like right off, like that's just it. If the show's a joke.
I don't think. Okay, in terms of like chances, I don't think Erdtree is going to win, and I don't think Balatro is going to win, and I don't think Astrobot's going to win. I think it.
Yeah, Astrobot should win like musical categories, but I don't know if it's gonna win
Best
Game of the
family
Year.
game, whatever.
If you take Astrobot, because Astrobot's what I'm seeing the most people say is gonna win.
Yeah, okay.
So if you take Astrobot out and you say Astrobot's not gonna win, I don't know what I would pick over between Black Myth, Final Fantasy, and Metaphor Rue Fantasio.
Yeah,
because I don't think Metaphor Rue Fantasio is gonna win.
I don't know. I mean. Yeah, maybe
as good as it is.
Maybe you're right. Maybe
Astrobot
is the kind of the safe pick. I don't know. Like I feel like Black Myth Wukong is in there because it kind of got a big research. Like it just kind of exploded onto the scene because it's very, very popular. Bit of it like a dark horse entry. But I don't think it's like Game of the Year, like going to win this kind of stuff, right? I just don't. I think even if you look at like
I think it's between Astrobot and Final Fantasy.
I was just gonna say the same thing. I think it's between those two.
I get the feeling Final Fantasy might win it, but Astrobot and Metaphor do have like the recency bias bit of like they did come out later in the year. People have played them more recently. People have been kind of blown away by both titles.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too. Yeah, they had the recency.
If you look at people who are voting, though,
in my heart, I want Balatro to win.
That is absolutely the token indie game. Sorry, not winning.
I don't care.
First one cut.
Just because everyone is saying I can't believe they put a card game and nominated a card game for Game of the Year is what I want it to win because I just want those people to shut the fuck up.
Mm. Oh, I think that's
those are the worst.
Shut up less. Have you met those people?
Worst.
They're the worst.
The people saying that are the worst kind of people.
Yeah. Like every community, gamers can also be really awful, and they can be.
Say it's not so.
No? Oh, well, let me take you back to early 2000s Call of Duty lobbies and let me tell you how that went.
Let me take you back to fucking Black Ops 6 Call of Duty lobbies last week. I've seen so many P. Diddy's and other like it's rough.
Yeah.
I'm also all for thinking I think Celeblade should be on there, but the people who keep saying it needs to be on there and then posting the gooneriest gooner pictures are not helping
I
its
was just
case.
about to
Yeah.
say, I was like, I love Nier Automata too, but you guys need to calm down, all right? Like I get
Everyone's
it.
like, I can't believe Stellar Blade didn't get nominated. It's just the gooniest picture you can
It's like,
fucking
you
imagine.
know Jeff has to sell us to advertisers, right? Like, it's
Yeah, right.
Dude, I agree. It looks fantastic, but you're not doing it any favors.
Sometimes the community can ruin like a game, like if the fans like Rick and Morty. I think that show's great, but I don't want anything to do with the community
no, yeah.
in any way,
I
shape,
just
or
pretend
form.
I haven't seen it.
The worst people. Yeah,
For
I
sure.
don't know what you're talking about. Rick and what is that? Back to the Future? I don't know what you're talking about.
And you just have to have a really elevated sense of humor to understand Rick and Morty. You just
Apparently.
wouldn't get it.
Oh yeah, I
high
know.
IQ.
Oh, I don't. Oh, okay, I see.
You
Yeah,
gotta be an intellectual
Just don't
to
get
get
it.
it. Yeah.
I'm
Gang.
looking at the other categories before I, throw up my own guts.
Yeah, I haven't looked at anything but Game of the Year just because it's been so divisive this year.
Yeah, I mean,
with
the game direction is
DLC
the same list, which is kind of usually is like, oh, if you didn't get Game of the Year, the second runner up is basically game direction is the So that's usually like first.
I feel like an interesting one is best adaptation. That's an interesting conversation to have.
Yeah.
Is Balatro at least in best indie?
Best independent
best
game?
adaptation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
It's
This
Animal
is-
Well,
okay.
Balatro, Lorelei, and the Laser Eyes. Never.
Balatro's gonna
Ooh.
destroy that category.
It's
That one,
Yeah.
the between that are Animal Well.
It is between that and Animal
But
Well,
Balatro
and I
probably
still
gonna
think
win.
Balatro.
Balatro will
I
definitely win, I
Balatro
think. Yeah.
crushes
I
Animal Well.
really, really enjoyed Animal Well a lot. Lorelei and Laser Eyes didn't come to fucking Xbox, which is crazy because it sounds like 100% my kind of game. It's the kind of game, it's a mystery game where you fucking need to write some shit down. And I'm like, Annapurna, what are you fucking doing? Bring this shit out.
I think Balatro takes best mobile game, best debut indie game, and best independent game. Hands down.
Yes.
Easy
Easy.
best indie game.
Yeah, I think you're
Sweep.
probably right.
Sweep those
Mobile
three
game,
categories.
obviously. Independent game. Yeah, I can see that. What were the other ones? Best debut, you said?
Mobile game, AFK Journey, Pokemon Trading
Oh, debut
Card Game
indie.
Pocket.
Mm.
Oh,
Well, that too.
Words,
Debut
Pocket
indie.
Star.
But I don't really know what the difference. What's the difference between the best independent game and best debut indie
I mean, it's
game?
like
what's the?
first game from their
I
studio.
think their first,
guess. So-
yeah.
Oh, the first game they made. Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah.
I
Sure,
feel like
sure,
Animal
sure.
Well might win that one. Because I feel like that got a lot of like,
I don't know.
yeah.
Because I saw the story of how the Balatro did, so it's their first game,
Mm-hmm.
and he made it. He did a tweet that was like, "I still have this game. I still have this game in a folder called Card Game in a folder called Learning on my desktop. If that's any indicator for how well I thought this was gonna do.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
So like when you have a debut story like that,
Oh, it's
like,
beautiful. Like I definitely think it's one
Yeah.
of the best indie by far. I think, yeah.
And did you see he doesn't want to put any kind of microtransactions in or anything?
Yeah, he's like, and he's putting it's like under no circumstances will it ever have microtransactions.
Yeah, because he's like, it's poker. Like, I don't want to put micro.
Yeah.
That seems icky. So good for him. That's awesome.
Innovations and accessibility. I'm just kind of looking at like any interesting kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, best ongoing game is a kind of an interesting one always. Destiny 2 is in there, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. I think Helldivers 2 is probably going to win that one and probably best community as well.
I don't know if Helldivers.
I
If
think
there's a
best
community
community.
driven,
Helldivers
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Huh?
This is a community voted award, right?
Yes, I believe community is yes. So, or at least someone.
I don't think Helldivers is gonna get it then.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
It fell off too hard.
There's recency bias in that too because that was what, February,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Where is it? Where's best ongoing? I can't find it. I'm
Uh,
dumb.
So second
I
one
literally-
on the second row.
Are you on? Where are
I
you?
don't get how
on
Fortnite
IGN?
doesn't win that.
Fortnite could win ongoing. That's fair.
Like, I don't
hope it
understand how
doesn't.
that doesn't win that.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like Fortnite would just win it every year though. I mean, considering
Exactly. I hope it's.
I mean,
I hope it's.
Okay, if it was most ongoing, I think Fortnite would win it every year. But is
No,
is
they
it
add all kinds of stuff,
best
man. It's
ongoing?
kind of crazy how much that game is.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
I would
Sometimes
love
I
to
watch
see
those
Diablo
trailers, I'm
take
like,
it.
this is Fortnite? What the heck?
Diablo would be interesting. Yeah, I don't know though. I mean,
Just
yeah.
Did Destiny 2's got that's its final expansion?
They're done,
right?
yeah. So
Like
final shape is coming
yeah.
out.
So it'd be cool to see. It'd be cool to see a final hurrah little.
Mm.
Here's
I mean, people did really like Final Shape. It did really
Hurrah.
well. Like they got really really high reviews, especially considering the previous one.
There's a small part of me that wishes they kept giving it releasing achievements with each expansion, like they did for Destiny 1 and the first, like at the beginning of Destiny 2 for Forsaken. Just because I'd love an incentive to go back and see how the story shakes out, but I don't have enough incentive. Like I don't have enough drive to go play through each pack.
It's understandable.
Personally, I think Fortnite should win ongoing, just because, again, sometimes those trailers I'm watching, I'm like, this is insane what they're adding, and all the skins. And then I think Helldivers 2 should win community support.
Yeah,
just because
they keep adding stuff.
I don't know just the way they play with the community. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like they lean into that a lot.
Did Fortnite? Was it this year or last year that Fortnite released like all the, like Fortnite became a genre bending game? Was that this year or last year?
Did they announce?
Did they release the Lego and the racing and the music, the rhythm game? Like,
I remember talking about.
I don't remember when that was.
This year?
But that was.
Yeah, because my daughter plays Festival a lot.
Well, Festival was this year.
Let's see. No, that's when all that happened, because it was Festival, the Racer, and Lego all at the same time.
That's right. Yeah.
So, Fortnite.
Because if that came out this year,
Festival.
then I think Fortnite sweeps ongoing game. If that was this year, because that was crazy. That's when Fortnite became a metaverse.
Yeah. Oh, December 9th of last year.
Okay.
So I don't know when the cutoff is, but
close.
Yeah, no cigar maybe. I'm just having a look through some of the like genre categories. Best action game: Black Myth: Wukong, Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, Warhammer. I think Black Myth is probably going to win that one.
Yeah, that or Warhammer, I think should get it.
Yeah, I think so.
Best VR AR game: Arkham Shadow. Did Arkham Shadow come out?
It did.
Does
yeah,
anyone...
it did. It was very, very well reviewed too. So that's probably a shit one, actually.
All the previews I've seen, that's a pretty legitimate. Well, I don't know. Asgard's Wrath 2, people loved that game.
True, and that is like a real game.
That got really good reviews too. So it'll be between those two.
Action adventure.
There's Metro Awakening, Arizona Sunshine, Metals Hellsinger. Those are all kind of fun, I'm sure, but I don't think they're like.
Yeah, it's not the same level. Action adventure, Astrobot, Prince of Persia, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and the new Legend of Zelda. I get a feeling Astrobot's going to win that one, probably hands down.
Which one was it?
Action adventure. Again, like it's such a nothing category.
I know, like that's a weird choice, but yeah, Astrobot probably for that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if Silent Hill 2 quite would win that. I think Astrobot probably.
Best RPG, Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring got another shout out here. Final Fantasy 7. I think again, whoever if Final Fantasy 7 or Metaphor win Game of the Year, they'll win Best RPG as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh man,
most
Infinite Wealth
anticipated
needs
game's
to really
interesting
win
one.
there. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I was looking at anticipated game actually. I mean, GTA 6 is going to win, right?
Clean sweep.
Obviously.
I all the other game. It's GTA 6 is gonna win, but I'm personally more anticipating literally every other game in that category.
100%. Metro Prime 4.
You know what GTA 6 is gonna be like.
Metro Prime 4, I've been anticipating for several years, so they just keep letting me down.
Yeah,
Lots will have.
Monster Hunter Wilds is gonna look sick.
Great.
Death Stranding 2, Ghost of I mean, I'm lukewarm on Ghost of Tsushima. I thought it was a very white bread game, but that doesn't mean it was a bad game. It's just boring.
Sure.
It was an open world checklist game.
Yeah,
which is fine.
It was beautiful, but it was very much that. Yeah.
It's more. I think the game's overhyped. Everyone's like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I'm like, yeah, it's like a good 6.5, 7. But like, calm down. But I'm still excited for Ghost of Yotei because, like, I don't know, it's an interesting setting.
Erika Ishii as well.
Yeah.
Listen, the most unique experience next year will be take your drug of choice, and then play some Death Stranding 2. And just coast. Because man, those trailers are a trip. It's just like all of his games, but.
I still need to play Death Stranding. I want to, but
I've wanted to for so long, but it was only on PC Game Pass. and I can't
Oh, yeah.
stream and play it. But now it's on Xbox, so that's going to be happening real soon.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on
I want
board
to hear that
too.
review for sure. Moonzom reckons card game wins full send all categories. Yeah, well, I mean, that's fine.
I agree.
Keep the
I
dream
agree.
alive.
I want Balacher to sweep everything.
Tekken 8 is obviously going to win best fighting. There's no competition there.
Yeah, best fighting. What was that? Let's see. I don't know. Do you think recency bias might help
Dragon Ball Z,
Sparking Zero?
maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, Dragon Ball, like in terms of like as a fighting game, like it's I don't know. It's
Yeah, I think
Tekken 8's
Dragon Ball.
probably the
I think
best
Dragon
of
Ball takes that
those.
one.
You think?
Dragon
I
Ball's
think just
probably really popular.
I mean,
I
like,
was
from
gonna
an
say,
IP
if
perspective,
it's
for sure.
if it's
And
community
if you're going for
vote,
just,
I think Dragon Ball's a sweep.
that's not all community
Easy.
vote, right?
Well,
It's all,
community weighs in some amount, but there's like 100
Yeah.
pages
Okay.
doing the other rest of it. So
Well,
all over
I
the world
still
too.
think
People need to remember that. Like,
true.
I still think Dragon Ball wins.
see, I think
Yeah.
it'd be Dragon Ball for recency bias, Tekken 8 for just the best fighter,
The best
and then
fighter.
Marvel vs. Capcom if you're going for like pedigree. So
I think Dragon Ball Sparking Zero not only has the recency bias. I think with these, especially with these award shows, I've noticed the game that usually wins is the game that had the biggest social impact also.
Sure.
And I think Sparking Zero just had a significantly larger social impact than Tekken 8.
constantly see reels in that game.
Yeah,
that is
that's
all
fair. I mean,
on my feeds every
it
time.
also did like stupidly well for them. So I mean,
Yeah.
I just in terms of like fight, I just don't think of Dragon Ball Z when I think of fighting games outside of like fighters.
I don't either. No, I mean, I'm sure the actual like the
FGC.
the FGC is like absolutely fucking not. Give it to Tekken 8.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending who you ask, the FGC is a small niche club of nerds and not like the majority.
Yeah, they all are jizzing constantly about Tekken 8. Like
Yeah.
that,
Tekken 8,
every time
of
I
course
hear
they
anyone
are.
talk about fighting
Yeah.
games, they're like Tekken 8's the
Yeah.
best. And
Didn't and I'd have to fact check this, but I could have swore no, I think it came out too late. So I was gonna say I thought Smash Ultimate won like best fighting game or something.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, yeah, again, it's like.
But
to be fair,
obviously
like,
that's another thing where it's like Smash is a beloved game and it's going to be lumped into the fighting game category, and every single time it's lumped in the fighting game category, the FGC freaks out and throws a fit. Probably the same thing happening with
the FGC at least like usually had like the FGC is usually split on whether to include Smash as a fighting game, right? That's always a contentious debate within the community.
Yes,
Whereas like if you're like,
yeah.
hey, I want to include this Dragon Ball Z game, I think most of them are like, come on, bro. Like
you're probably right, but I think since this is such an
Fighter Z,
overarching
'cause-
gaming like
you're probably
awards show, like I think that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a clean win.
I hope someone also listeners. I hope one of you is writing all this down so we can look back and see how wrong we are because we're not going to remember any of this.
Yeah.
I'm always right. Thanks.
Yeah. Best family is definitely going to go to Astrobot because there's nothing really else in there that's.
Yeah.
Family.
Prince of Persia. Oh wait, no, I'm
probably.
looking at the right category. Oopsies.
Yeah, Astrobot's definitely. Oh, Super Mario Party people like a lot, but Astrobot's probably gonna win that one.
I didn't hear much about Super Mario Jamboree, honestly.
I heard it was okay.
I'm talking like streamers, people. Everyone's playing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Games for Impact. I want to talk about that.
Sure, we can talk about
Category.
games for impact.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only two games I know in that category is Life is Strange Double Exposure and Senua Saga.
I also played Indica.
Well, you don't know Tales of Kenzera, so that makes you a racist right away.
That's
so
true,
That's
yeah, that's-
unfortunate.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That is out of pocket. Holy shit.
Shame.
Yeesh.
Shame.
Yeesh. Outed. Oy.
What's Neva? I feel like if I look it up, I'll know what that
Never
is.
is
'Cause everyone
the,
liked that game
the
a lot.
latest game from the people who made Grease, or GRIS. That really beautiful
Oh.
game about depression.
Oh, the sad animal one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So this is So this level looks really good. I haven't played it because I think it's like would have been great to get on Game Pass or something. But I know it only came out pretty recently. I really enjoyed Indica. I don't think it needs to win this category, but I think more people should play it.
No.
It's
Well, what do you think would win?
well, Life is Strange is definitely not going to win. I don't think. I think Hellblade.
Which
2
I feel like Games for Impact is like I don't know anything about the new Life is Strange story-wise. Is that
I've only just started it, so again, I'll probably talk more about it next week. But
I mean, they're
I think we can agree this
usually
is the woke category. So
sure,
is it
yeah,
woke
yeah.
or
If they're gonna be reductive about it, it is the woke category, right?
yeah.
Pro social
It is.
meaning or message. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, oh God forbid. God forbid. In our
Imagine
gaming
having
sphere, no way.
progressive ideals in a video game. Couldn't be me.
See, I feel like Tales of Kanzero would win this if we were just going by
You're probably right. You're probably
Games
right.
for Impact.
Again, like
The
so much
story
of
behind that game's awesome.
so much of the stuff would have really been great to have in Game Pass. These are the kinds of games that you should have in Game
Oh
Pass.
yeah.
Like smaller indie, interesting experiments.
I almost bought Tales of Kanzero when it came out just to like be
Same.
like A, support, but B, it looks like a cool game.
Yeah, it looks like a
So,
really cool Metroidvania.
I just never got around to it.
I don't know anything
Yeah.
about Close to the Distance though. That's the only one I've never heard of.
Nope. Skybound too.
So a narrative game similar to Telltale stuff, I guess.
So see, this category is hard because they could go either the artsy way and pick something like Tales of Kanzera or Neva, or they could go Senua Saga, which is a beautiful game. So
I think Senua's. I mean,
I just don't
again, I
think Life
know
is Strange
that
would win.
like Hellblade 1 got a lot of praise in that direction when it first came out years ago. So I imagine Hellblade 2 might be. It's the only place that's going to get.
I mean,
but
just to spoil for another category, that actress should win
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Because she was fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. With the problems that game has, that the acting is not one of them. Look at
Yeah, Melina, she is fantastic.
Look at Simmons' strategy, Age of Mythology Retold, which I don't feel like should win because it's a remake or it's a remaster. Frostbite 2, which I know didn't get amazing. Well, it didn't go. It's apparently not as good as the first game, but people do like it. Kinitsugami, which I've been playing a lot of recently, I've really enjoyed, and I think actually would be.
Isn't that neat?
It's really good actually. It's simpler than I thought it was going to be, but it's also it changes things up enough that I was again. I'll talk more about it when we get to what I've been playing because I got to the end of it yesterday, and so
That's turning into a lot of our answers for these.
yeah,
For all this like show.
yeah. I think Man and Lords is probably going to win this one. I know it got a huge amount of hype made by one person, kind of, still getting updated. People love it. It's on Game Pass. A lot of people played it.
I want Unicorn Overlord to win.
Yeah, see, I think so too.
Yeah, I really want to play Unicorn Overlord. I was waiting for it to go
Yeah.
on sale, but I don't think it ended up on the Black Friday sale, which is a
That was I watched somebody stream that game, and it was the most like pure unadulterated fun I ever watched them have playing a game. Like they just couldn't put it
Okay,
down.
that's
And
awesome.
They're just way into it. Like it was like I feel like the most disassociated they ever got from their actual stream, and were just having fun
Just playing a video
that
game?
they couldn't
Yeah.
put down. Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, it's so cool to watch you play this and strategize this, because you don't you're so out of the stream. You're literally just into the game, and that's awesome.
The Monarch Edition's 40% off. Fuck,
That's
I'm gonna have
awesome.
to buy that. I must have missed that in my list. God damn it! All right, well, another thing to add to the list of because I had it on my wish list.
Spend more money.
Yeah, another 2024 game that I missed.
Capitalism.
Oh boy. Yeah, I need to fucking get a raise.
I'm glad you're enjoying Kinitsugami. That game, that's one of the ones I previewed, and I thought it was like that's cool. It's very Capcom-y. I don't know. I definitely seems like a game I'd enjoy.
I realized I'm actually playing 3 different Capcom games at the moment and kind of moving between all 3 of them and having a great time with all of them so far. Sports and racing, no one cares about. Best multiplayer, again, I don't think anyone cares about. Probably Helldivers 2 will probably win that. Because I don't think
hopefully.
Tekken's going to win it. Warhammer it might be Warhammer actually. I don't think Black Ops 6 is going to win. I don't know. Black Ops 6 maybe. People like
Best
I'd say
adaptation.
Helldivers too.
Knuckles.
Yeah, that's what I
Knuckles. Knuckles.
Oh, that was a rough show to watch.
Yep. Yes, best adaptation. Fallout. Well, no, because I was going to say Fallout, but then I just remembered Arcane just came out, and people are fucking loving season 2.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's probably gonna be Arcane.
But here's my question. Well, I guess it depends on who's voting. Fallout, I feel like probably has the better mainstream appeal.
Yeah, you're probably right. More people have watched Fallout, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a
Arcane
really
is
good mainstream appeal,
probably
but
better.
mainstream people don't pay attention to the Game Awards for sure.
Oh no! I'm talking about the people who voted. I don't know how they'd
the Venn
land.
diagram of people who
Has everyone
watch
watched
the
all
Game
5 of these?
Awards,
Or
watch Fallout, and watch Arcane.
I know Cameron watched the first couple of episodes of Knuckles and then just turned it off because it was terrible. Apparently, Yakuza is really bad.
it's okay. So I have watched all 5 of these. Of all 5 of those, I'd put Yakuza at the bottom.
Yeah,
Like way under
doesn't
Knuckles.
surprise me. Okay.
It's bad. Have you played Like a Dragon and Yakuza games? You guys?
I played Manu Who Races
I'd like
Main,
to.
but that was pretty much it. I've been meaning to play the first Like a Dragon.
Just a
But
They're on my
travesty.
list.
Like
I know
Like
a
the main
shitload
character
about the
is a
series 'cause
stoic.
people love it.
Yeah. The main character is like a stoic, cool guy, and they've picked some like little twink dude to play the main character in the show. I'm like, what is happening?
dragon of
It's
Dojima.
really weird.
That's crazy.
No, 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 absolutely not.
And he loves being
I
the
don't know.
Dragon of
I
Dojima.
watched
That's
the-
his defining characteristic, is that he loves being a Yakuza.
Yeah,
And that he calls himself the
yeah,
Dragon
totally.
of Dojima all the time, and it never causes any problems for him at all.
It was so bad. I was so ashamed to even watch it. Knuckles, at least, it's hard to watch, but it's fun. Like it
Sure.
can be silly, you know. And then of course, we did watch. Me and my daughter watched the first couple episodes of Tomb Raider. Bad,
I heard it was like
totally
just kind of
okay, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. And then yeah, of course, Arcane and Fallout are. It'll be between those two for sure.
Yeah, I think Fallout is probably going to win, considering it's just kind of, it's also just
I
not,
do too.
It's just not animated, which I think just kind of, people categorize things.
I think it's gonna go to Arcane.
Yeah.
I'm calling Arcane.
No, I mean it is a video
I
game
think
show.
Fallout's
100% between those two.
I think Fallout's a fair pick. I don't think you guys are wrong. But I just think Arcane's gonna win.
I mean, I think maybe Arcane's a better show even, or more interesting.
Oh, I haven't seen season 2, and I can bet it's probably better than Fallout.
Yeah, but I think Fallout just has more of an appeal to more people. Like I think that just Arcane, the second season came out so late. Like it only just recently released, right? Is that a lot of people probably haven't even seen it yet.
It's gonna come
Part
down
3
to
come out? I think it's all out.
So kind of in the same vein to Sparking Zero, where if it's gonna come down, like if you have to kind of get really analytical about what it comes down to, is it gonna come down to like the people, the audience? Because like I said, I think the people who watch Arcane are also the people who are into the Game Awards versus the people who are watching Fallout now are not necessarily. Or is it going to come down to actual analytical numbers of the show's performance? Because if it's that, then I think Fallout won. Because of the point you guys made, where I think that was more digestible by randos and normies.
That's the voters, man.
Well, it's the voters, and I guess this is one of those categories where I feel like the voters are probably going to weigh in a lot more. So, all right,
Yeah, I think it's legit going to be hard to call between Fallout and Arcane. It's going to just come down to who voted.
I guess to wrap all this section up, are you guys going to watch the Game Awards, or are you just kind of going to watch the announcements and the winners and all that shit afterwards?
That's what I'm doing. If I'm not doing anything, if I'm playing a game, it's always fine. Second monitor entertainment. If I am doing stuff, I'll just probably either watch the announcements or read the announcements. These days I keep saying I'm going to go back and watch the announcements, but I end up just reading them and calling it a day. So likely I'll probably just read the announcements, but we'll see. We'll see what I'm doing when they're on.
I doubt I would sit down and watch it, but I mean, I always have a TV right here, so
yeah,
I'm sure I'll have it on and listen to most of it.
I'm not gonna chuck it on the OLED, sit on my couch with some popcorn and a glass of whiskey, but I'm gonna probably play a video game on one monitor.
Whiskey,
and have
you say?
Game
Then
Awards
maybe.
on another.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably just catch up with the announcements because I'll have to put the news together for this show, but I don't know if I'll actually watch the show itself.
Wow. Out of obligation and not for the love of the game. All right. Jeez.
Yes, I'll
Jeff
watch
would
the
be so
massively
sad.
corporate-sponsored fucking Emmy trash file. It's like I'm also a huge cinephile. I don't watch any of that shit either.
Listen, a Muppet might show up.
To be
There's
fair,
gonna
yeah,
Kojima probably will show up again. I mean,
Do it for the love of the game, Neo.
The stuff will get memed on X or Blue Sky or whatever enough that I'll probably be able to absorb it via osmosis anyway. If anything like Chick Hydrobot happens, then obviously that'll fucking go down in history. All right. Game Pass. So, as we kind of talked about, there were a few announcements. I want to talk a little bit about this afterwards, but yeah. So we got Microsoft Flight Sims available now. We had Stalker 2 come out, and they also brought Little Kitty Big City and Plate Up to Game Pass Standard. So now it's available. You don't have to have Ultimate to use it. And they also had their announcements of what's coming up. On the 26th, we've got Nine Souls, which looks really good. Actually, I'm keeping an eye on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the 27th, we have they're bringing Alien Dark Descent to Game Pass Ultimate and Standard.
Got a lot of Alien
And
love on
PC.
Game Pass.
And PC.
I hate the freaking subscription breakout
It's
because
bad,
I saw
right?
Little Kitty Big City, and I literally was like, "Am I living in an alternate reality?" Thought that was already on Game Pass, and then I was like, "Oh, it's
Hey.
no, it's okay. They're
It's on
adding
Game
it
Pass,
to
and I've already
standard."
finished it. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm just like, wait, what? Wasn't that already there? Am I being gaslit? So, god damn it, I hate this.
It is kind of nuts to think about. It's like in terms of like new stuff, their announcements are like they're really padding their announcements with these like moves to standard that are just like, oof. I really,
Yes.
really
Yes.
not a fan of
Like,
it.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, and like I'm interested in Nine Souls and like maybe Aliens, but like
I already deal with their enterprise licensing in my profession. I don't need to deal with it for my fucking hobby, dude.
yeah, I am 100% with you on that.
the Game Pass Ultimate, you ain't gotta worry about it. You got all of it, you ain't gotta worry about it.
I
Don't worry about
guess. I mean, I do, but like,
Yep.
still just like reading the news about it. It doesn't make it easy to digest.
And considering now that they're like, oh yeah, we're only announcing what's coming up the following 2 weeks instead of like the whole month. It's just like it just really feels like you're just getting drips and drabs of like not amazing stuff. And then in terms of stuff leaving, we have Remnant from the Ashes, Conan Exiles, Coral Island, but I think only the PC version. There was some confusion around that. Rollerdrome, Soccer Story, Spirit of the North Enhanced Edition, While the Iron's Hot, Walking Dead Final Season on PC, and Hello Neighbor 2. Anything on there that you guys are jonesing to get onto or thinking, oh shit, I should probably get around to that?
Nah, this month has been completely just been like, I'm not gonna bother with any of the leaving Game Passes this month.
Yeah,
I
that's,
I got
haven't
other stuff to
bothered
do.
with the leaving Game Pass games for like a good half a year.
I've been kind of on and off.
I continue to add them to my lists, to my like, oh, this is leaving. You're not gonna play it before it leaves, so like put it to. I have like a special list, that makes for like games I don't want to forget about them if they were in Game Pass, and I want to buy them still and wait for a sale. But at that point, it's not really much different from a wish list, so I don't know why I treat them special or independently from
Sure.
other games. But I don't know. It's something I do is I check them. So I'm when I see them leaving, I'll still chuck them in my list for like, oh, this left, and don't forget to buy it sometime.
Yeah, I had a look at While the Iron's Hot, but it looked kind of bad, to be honest. It did not look great. And then Rollerdrome was the one we were kind of talking about earlier. Rapture just finished it and said that said it was like relatively straightforward, but I played like half the tutorial and I was like, yeah, I just don't think I'm gonna enjoy this
feeling it.
enough to which is like a real shame because it looks
Yeah.
really cool and interesting, but it's just not like any kind of game where it's like, hey, I got to do tricks and like get a combo or whatever. I'm just not about it. As much as I loved like Tony Hawk's back in the day, I loved it because it was cool and stylish, not because I was any good at it. And mainly
Yeah, I was gonna do the Spirit of the North, but I just don't have time.
I
So I was like,
don't.
just whatever. It's not a big worry.
Yeah.
I feel like I own that one anyway, so
Yeah, fair. I think it's on sale for like $3 at the moment or something. So it's like, yeah, if you're gonna get it, just pick it up, and it's a relatively short game. Also, we've got Patrons. Surprise! I've moved the Patreon section to the middle of the podcast, so you guys can't skip it. A huge thank you to our Patreon, patreon.com/HallOfGames if you want to help support the show. All the money gets reinvested back into the podcast. I've got the Zoom bill coming up in February, so I am trying to make sure that we can afford it. A huge thank you to Lee Howard, Mikhail KV, Natolinator, Mad Lefty, Admiral Awesome, Happy Moogles, Kung Fu Skills, Hack'n'Pone, Cavalier07, Old Mate Clown, Mace J, Left for Legacy, and McNulty. We literally couldn't afford to do the show without you guys, so thank you very, very much. And if you'd like to help support the show, any amount helps. Any kind of extra content that we do, which I'll admit we don't do a lot these days because we're all busy people. But anything extra, we'll probably have a Game of the Year chat coming up in there and sort of some of the debate of at least getting down to the the list of what's on the list, or our personal lists of how we kind of do that on there. So check that out if you're a Patreon. And we don't get any content if you're a $10 subscriber or a $2 subscriber or whatever. It's all available.
Get mid-show ad read nerds roasted.
I really need to have a little banner that comes up with the URL on it and everything too. Just get real professional in here.
Yeah.
So get fucking, I don't know, gamer subs or better health on here or some shit as well.
There you
go. Let's get into what we've been playing. Who wants to go first? Who's got some stories?
I mean, mine's super light.
Yeah, go for it, Jack. What do you got?
Aggressively light. I already talked about it a little bit in the middle of the show or the beginning of the show. Final Fantasy V. I just got to the 2/3 of the way through point, the second point of no return. Maybe I can finish that up tomorrow. We'll see. Like I kind of was saying earlier, I'm really dragging my feet now. I have played 5 OG Final Fantasies in a row from the old OG Pixel 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
And it's starting to set in that I've played 5 Final Fantasies in a row, even though it can be your favorite series, favorite franchise in the whole world, and you still probably shouldn't drink them from the fire hose like I just tried to do.
Really? I never could
Don't say.
I also now have
everything.
those games because they were on sale for Black Friday again because I just am responsible.
But I mean, Final Fantasy V is great. It's more Final Fantasy. I've pretty much the last X amount of times I've been on the show, I've talked about Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters in some sense. I smashed through the first 4 in like a month, and now the 5th one has taken me a month because I'm just the combination busy but dragging my feet like crazy on it. So hopefully I can finish out that last third tomorrow. But if the pattern continues, I probably won't. So we'll see. And then I was doing the Crew 2 as my racer, my brain off racing game, and I finished it. So now I need to figure out what I'm doing next. I don't know what that's gonna be yet. I kind of have been playing Forza Motorsport 1 on the Xbox original.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I literally only played that because I got a Cronus Zen, so I could use modern controllers on old consoles because sorry if this hurts your feelings, the Xbox 360 controller is dog water, the PS3 controller is dog water. They're awful controllers. They were great for the time, but going back, they're not good. So I got it so I could play 360 games, and I literally just I was like, what can I test this on? Like, what can I not invest myself into or sink my teeth into just to be able to test? And I was like, oh, a racing game. Like, that's a super easy game to just brain out, like make sure the controller works and stuff. And then I played it for like an hour, and then I played it for like another hour, and then another. And I'm like, I'm enjoying Forza Motorsport 1. So I haven't played it since before I moved, because I moved and then finished off the crew and all that good stuff. So now I think I might go back to that as my next brain off racer, is Forza Motorsport 1.
Huh.
And I played 1 round of Vampire Survivors last night.
Just for fun?
Oh, nice.
I don't have the completion.
Funsies.
So.
Gotcha. So you just
I literally was like, I beat the crew. I had like literally a half hour of downtime to kill. And I was like, what do I want to do? And I was like, I have Vampire Survivors installed. I'll do a run.
Sure.
That was it. So maybe there'll be more Vampire Survivors. So I do need to finish that game. And it is also a very fantastic brain off game, because if you get your right build, you literally can just stand there.
The game plays itself, yeah.
It does. It's great.
So many clips of me doing that. Yep.
Yeah. So.
I'll smash through mine pretty quickly because I haven't been playing anything too exciting. But I did Spirit of the North, and it was way more average than I thought it was going to be. Again, I kind of like these kind of like small indie games that are on Game Pass. I'm like, oh yeah, like a sort of like 5-6 hour experience with some like cool animals, maybe a nice little message or whatever. This game's kind of not great. like it's a linear path but open world areas. So basically, you end up exploring for a bunch,
Oh,
trying to find where to go. Signposting is kind of not great. Lots of collectibles. You got to find like shaman staffs and bring them to the bodies of each of them. But like again, there's not really a great indication of where they are, so you probably will need to use a guide. There aren't a lot of good written guides, so I used a video guide, which I hate doing.
yeah.
Some of the puzzles are just kind of a pain, and it's just like again, there's not really any dialogue or anything. It's very much just like you're a fox and you're trying to get to the top of a volcano where something erupted and killed everybody. Yeah, and I was just kind of like I thought it was going to be like oh yeah, people think it's okay. It's got like a 3 like a 3 out of 5 on TA or whatever, and I thought that was kind of low because most people usually rate games like a 4 or so. But no, it's actually just kind of like the controls aren't that great, and like I said, the signposting's not great. Like it looks beautiful and stuff, but yeah, it just kind of wasn't a lot of fun to play. And if I didn't have a guide, it would have been really, really frustrating. Icy Shades does have like a good just like it's like an hour and 10 minutes sped up guide that you can do that will just kind of breeze you through. You just follow it. And then on the other Game Pass Living stuff, I did Soccer Story, which is one that I've been meaning to play for a long time. I know Mad Mike played it ages ago and said it wasn't too bad, but I just kept putting it off because I heard it was quite buggy, and apparently it is quite buggy because I've seen some interesting clips and people talking about it. But it's a relatively... I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. It's a relatively simple, top-down, sort of Link to the Past style, kind of like little adventure game where, like no combat, mostly just puzzle solving and kind of like little challenges where you basically just run around with a soccer ball and just like, kick it towards targets or like try to do like dribbling challenges or play little mini games, like solve puzzles. Pretty straightforward. The only thing is that like the whole thing is that you're trying to basically soccer has been banned and you're trying to basically get people together to make soccer teams so you can start a tournament. And so like the first teams that you fight are like a toddlers FC, and so you just like slide tackling toddlers, and then on the other side of it, it's an old folks home who are old soccer players. So you just fucking destroy them, obviously, and then you have to go to like a beach and do like the same thing. You basically got to organize 2 teams in each of these 4 regions that you go to win 4 cups, to then go and do the big cup against 2 super evil corporation dudes from Soccer Inc. The biggest problem with this game is that all the like fun little puzzle stuff that you do in the open world leads to really fucking boring soccer matches that you have to play for 4 minutes at a time. You can put it on easy, thankfully, so it's not too difficult, but it usually just ends up with you get like power-ups in the main game, in like the open world, and you can use them to increase your levels of your characters. Like Ultimate Team, but without the microtransactions. And you kind of go in there and just kind of kick the ball for a bit. It's like 2D, kind of top-down, like sometimes the goalie blocks it, sometimes they don't. Like it's a real basic game, and the soccer part is definitely the worst part of it. But it's got some humor to it. It's relatively light. It's didn't take long. Like I think I there's an achievement for losing a match and drawing a match, and I had to do those intentionally in the very first match to get them because it's just the game's pretty straightforward. It's just kind of boring. But yeah, leaving Game Pass, just kind of take it off the list. Also got back into Dead Island 2. So this is one that I was working on with Aftos and Old Mate Clown. And Old Mate Clown's gone off and had a life and doing his own thing now. So Aftos and I finally got back to it. We made it to we're in like the final story mission, having a pretty good time with it. It's definitely like a 7 out of 10 kind of game, but it's way better than the original 2 Dead Island games.
Yeah.
It's like
I play a little bit of it. It's way better.
It's great. I was having a good time with it. Like it's very again a shut your brain off kind of just like go to the objective, pick up weapons, put a couple upgrades on them, repair them every now and then because weapon durability is a thing, but whatever. Just kind of ignore the story. It doesn't actually matter at all. The leveling system is kind of weird. You instead of like unlocking like skills, you get these like cards that you kind of swap out to like make a build, which I don't kind of like that much, but. They've kind of it's very much like a simplified version of the original games in the best way possible. Like they've kind of stripped it back to the stuff where it's just like, just beat the shit out of some zombies for a bit. There are too many zombies though, I think is the problem. Like you get like a Dead Rising where it's like there's a sea of zombies and you're like, okay, cool, I get it. Whereas this is just like they just spawn out of nowhere and just show up all the time. You're just kind of like, okay, I get it. Let me do some parts where I'm just walking for a bit and exploring and like looting stuff. I don't need to be fighting a zombie every.
Here's a personal space. Come on, man.
Exactly.
Take a minute.
Exactly. It's like pacing. But yeah, that's kind of just my like brain off kind of game that I'm kind of working on at the moment. But the 3 things from Capcom that have been really taking up all of my time is I picked up the Ace Attorney Apollo Justice trilogy, so it's the 4, 5, and 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing through those, so I finished 4. I'm working on 5 now. I played 4 back in the day. I've never played 5, so this has been like a new experience for me. Having a great time with it. I love the Ace Attorney stuff. Like, it's one of my favorite series. Love the court stuff. Love the wacky humor. Again, it did come out this year, but I'm not going to put it on my Game of the Year list because it's just a collection of old games, so I don't feel like that's fair. But definitely recommend it. It's like 40% off on the Black Friday sale. Also playing Path of the Goddess, which I beat the final boss last night. Really, really good. I like it a lot. It does the thing where it has about like 20 levels or so, and then like boss levels. So I think there's like 28, 20, 27 levels, or maybe 26, 27 levels. And most levels, like most of them are just like draw the path, defend. But sometimes they'll be like, okay, we're going to do some different gimmicks. Where it's like, okay, this time the gates where the enemies come from are going to swap halfway through the night. Or we're going to throw a new enemy type at you that is a flying enemy. Or you got one that does will smash through things, smash through barriers. Or one that chases your main character but tends to avoid your thing. So basically, if you're fighting other dudes, he'll just come up behind you. There's one who has like a big box on his back that like runs around and he's like a treasure goblin. It's really, really good. But sometimes like one of them was just like, hey, you're on a boat, and it's like you're not moving. You do all the setup in the evening in the day, and then you don't need to go anywhere because the boat is taking you across the lake. But there are just enemies coming from all sides. You need to like set up cannons and like set up little side boats and have people ready.
Okay.
So like they go through like different forms of tower defense. Like there's one where it's like there are no villagers. You're just on your own. You have to set up the traps. You have to fight every single enemy. You need to prioritize your personal abilities as opposed to your villagers' abilities. There's one where it's like, oh yeah, she can't move anymore. Like she's stuck. So you basically need to defend her and give her crystals that you get from currency that you get from defeating enemies. But the night just never ends. Like you just have to just keep being. It's like, okay, well I need to balance spending crystals on my villagers to upgrade them, but I also need to be using those crystals to try and get to the end of the level. So they've got some fun variations. In a way that like it doesn't feel old. Like they reuse a couple of them. Like there's like 2 lake levels, there's like 2 cave levels where it's all dark and that kind of stuff. So it kind of feels like towards the end they were kind of like, oh well, there's only so much we can do. But and of course in true Capcom fashion, it ends with a boss rush at the very end before you fight the final boss because they're like, hey, we spent a lot of time on these boss fights, so you need to fucking play them again.
Capcom loves doing that. It's Mega Man, that's their thing.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like Beautiful Joe did the same thing. Like it's a classic Capcom thing, right?
Yeah.
And then when you get to the end of it, like, cool, New Game Plus. Do the entire thing again, keep all your upgrades, but now we're going to throw the high-level enemies at you from the very beginning. And also, every level now has 2 extra optional objectives that are quite hard to do. So that's where I was like, okay, I got to the end of it, I had a really good time with it, and now I'm cleaning up the regular optional objectives. Every level has like 3 of them, and then they add another 2 with New Game Plus. I'm probably not going to jump right into New Game Plus, because I'm like, I kind of feel like I've had my fill of the game, and I've gotten kind of everything out of it. And the New Game Plus isn't probably really going to add much to it outside of like getting me enough experience to fully level up all my villages and all my abilities and that kind of stuff and get last year achievements. But I think there's like apparently like at the end of the game there's like super strong optional boss that you got to beat for an achievement anyway. So we'll see. I think it's really, really good, but I kind of would overstay its welcome if you played it more than once. But it is a fun little thing where it's like it's the kind of game you just don't like. Capcom doesn't really make games like this a lot anymore. Like this is kind of something you'd normally see on like the PS2 or something, where they were just like, "Hey, this is just kind of like a weird little thing. It's like a new IP. We're just kind of going to do like a weird, interesting game. Give it a try. It's half price or whatever." You're like, "Sure."
Kind of how I felt about it when I saw the trailer. I'm like, "Oh, this is neat."
Yeah.
Yeah,
and like I haven't been like, "Oh, this is kind of boring" or whatever. Like I've enjoyed every minute that I've played of it. I'm just kind of mostly done with it. And then
how you feeling about it completion wise?
It's pretty straightforward. So completion wise, there aren't a lot of guides out. That's the big thing. Is that like again, it's tower defense, so you can kind of work it out. Like you don't necessarily. It's you want to keep in mind optional objectives is the main one. Like that's the one that takes the most time because you need to get all 3 in every level, and then when you start New Game Plus, get the extra 2 on every level as you go through them again. But otherwise, it's like everything else comes from like, hey, you've built every time you finish a level, you go back into the village to rebuild it. Which again, I don't really know why is in the game. I feel like it's just kind of padding. But there's ones for like, you know, build everything, get all the upgrades for all the your upgrades and your villagers upgrades, and then like cleanse a certain amount of animals in the levels, and so they kind of like, I think by the time you finish New Game Plus, you'll have gotten like 90% of, if not 100% of the achievements. So I think completion wise, it's pretty straightforward. I don't know how much harder New Game Plus is. I don't think it's going to be that much more difficult. I think it's just going to be a little bit of a slog because it are literally just the same levels again with harder enemies. But yeah, it's good. It's really good. And I think, you know, like it doesn't have like a speedrun achievement. There's no like difficulty settings or other bullshit like that. So I think it's a relatively straightforward completion. I just think most people aren't going to put in the time to really, really finish it. Yeah, and then the one I started is Dragon's Dogma 2. I just started it this afternoon. I'm like an hour or two into it, so it's like super early. But
yeah, for a game like that, for sure.
So you basically haven't started.
I literally saying. Like in the tutorial.
Yeah, you might as well not have even included it on.
Exactly.
You saying you're a couple hours into it is me saying I played a single round of Vampire Survivor. Like you didn't play it.
It's like, yeah, I saw the bit where the dragon takes his heart and goes, "Hey, bro, you're in Arisen," and that was pretty much it. Yeah. And Allison spent half an hour on the character creator for me and my pawn to try and just, you know, build that. So. Yeah, I'm sure I'll have a great time with it. It's going to be that's the one that I really want to get done before I leave, and before the end of the year. That's the one that's super on my list, along with a fucking Unicorn Overlord now apparently. So,
that might be a good one to play while you're gone.
Actually, that's a good idea because it'll run on PC. Yeah, actually, that's a great idea. I should definitely do that. So I'm probably going to pick it up after this, but yeah. So again, I've been like jumping between a lot of games, trying to find like just like. Trying to space things out a little bit and play things at different times and not get too burnt out. But I do have a huge fucking list of stuff that I would like to get done. So we'll see how the rest of it goes.
You're running out of time. Cutting it real close.
Yeah, cutting it real close. Shane, what about you?
So mostly for November, I've been trying to do like a play with other people kind of thing. So, you know, I've been doing Pal World.
Mm-hmm.
That's with my daughter. I could have finished it forever ago. It's not a really hard completion. It takes a little time to grind a few things out with the newest update, but I just didn't want to play without my daughter. And for some reason, every time we tried to load it up on Xbox, it crashed every time. So we'd get to play maybe 10 minutes, 20 tops, and then it would crash. And then we'd be like, okay, we'll load it back up, and then it'd crash again, and just became not worth it. We tried it again, I think 2 weeks ago now, and it's been working.
Oh,
so we're playing it. I say playing it. I am playing it. My daughter she just wants to explore.
Sure.
She just literally just F's off into the wilderness, and I don't see her, and she gets murdered by things sometimes because she refuses to level up actually, and she has her pals, and that's kind of what she's doing. But I've been working on that. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to it. Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you like games like Minecraft and Ark, or you like Pokemon, it's those two things.
Sure.
So, I think so. It's a lot of fun. I'm sure if you get really if you're a real pervert about those kind of games, you could really build like a amazing base with like self-defense and everything else. I built a wall and I have pals to defend it, and I'm just getting my achievements right now.
Sure.
So there's no achievements for the base. Don't care. I'm getting to the point where it's getting kind of hard. Yesterday, I think my achievement for the day was fighting a raid boss, and that was an ordeal. Or a legendary boss, sorry. And but you can mess the server stats. Like you can make it so pals do 0.1% of their damage to you, and you do 3 times damage to them. And I haven't cranked up that high and low, but
sure,
you can mess with it enough to make it a far easier time. Yeah, I'm just slowly working through that. In the same vein, my friends Tommy today and Ghost Who Walks, they've been wanting me to play Phasmophobia with them forever. It finally came out for Xbox. When was that? Like a Halloween, something like that.
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, it's in game preview, but it works fine. I don't know if you guys know really what that game entails.
Yeah, so going into a house and looking for spooky stuff and reading out stuff and trying to figure out what kind of ghost it is. So.
Yeah.
I've put like 20 hours into it on Steam, so yeah, I've experienced it.
Yeah, it's a puzzle game.
Mm.
Like it's literally what it is. It's a puzzle game. Because you take your thermometer and you take your cameras and you take everything into the room and you find which room the ghost is in. And then you have to figure out the clues and it's fun. I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. Uh, uh, there are some pretty tough achievements. Like there's something called Apocalypse mode or whatever, where I have to get on a custom difficulty and get a perfect investigation and all this stuff, but it's also by myself. You have to do it solo. So
What's the
no.
over under on just loading in, closing the case, selecting a ghost, and crossing your fingers that you were right?
Oh, that's right. I could do. Oh, see, you can't. So for
Really?
Apocalypse, you have to do all three bonus objectives. You have
Ah.
to find all the evidence. You have to find the bone. You have to find everything. So you have to do it, sadly.
Oh, damn. I
Um,
was going to just keep
and it's
loading
on.
in, hitting the
Oh, I did that
poltergeist
today
until
for
you
my
get some
achievement
poltergeist.
because I got home late. Oh, yeah. So here's a weird thing. So I played a game today, but it wasn't Xbox, and it was at I don't know if
That's weird.
Top Golf. It's called Top Golf. So think of a bowling alley, but with golf.
Yeah.
So it's a driving range, but it's all there's alcohol.
Did
Everyone's got
you?
alcohol. There's pods. There's
I was gonna say,
food.
did you actually go to
Um,
Top Golf, or are you talking about a video game?
yeah, I went
Yeah,
Top
you
Golf
went
today.
to. Oh, dude, I want to go to Top Golf
Yeah,
so bad.
I
That
saw I
seems
saw
and
I
fun.
saw your
it was
post about it. Yeah.
If we're
yeah.
if we're free to talk about what we've been playing that is not video game related too, I actually started a Gloomhaven campaign
This is a video
in real
game
life.
though.
It's
There was
TTRPG.
a what?
Wait, this is a video game? I thought you said you went to Top Golf. Now I'm confused.
So Top Golf currently has a. Have you been to Top Golf? You said you haven't been.
No, but I know what it is.
So
Apparently I don't. You're about to
so
blow my mind.
yeah. So you're golfing, and in front of you there's a screen, and you can choose games to play. So me and my daughter played one where I don't know how this thing tracks your ball because I'm striking like 171 yards out, and it's tracking it. And so we played one where the entire field is broken up into like little hexagons, and as your ball rolls and bounces, it causes explosions that get you points and stuff. We played Angry Birds, where it's exactly what you think. You hit the
Mhm.
ball, and your bird flies that way and hits the thing. And then right now, their big one is they have a Sonic tie-in. So we got to play Sonic the Hedgehog with golf balls. Um,
Huh.
that was really
Now I
cool.
want to go to Top Golf
Not so
even more. That sounds sick.
you absolutely should. I did not
We
expect that to
have
be as fun
one.
as
We
it
have
was.
one.
I've never even heard of this. I guess they're not in New Zealand.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
they're
think
probably
so.
pretty
I'm
American.
pretty sure it's an
But
American thing. Yeah.
do you have one local
But
to you,
again,
or did you
think
have
of
to travel?
I went to Des Moines, so it was a good
Okay.
2-hour drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Okay.
I just wanted to take my daughter to check it out, and then we ended up loving it. And she wrecked me, by the way.
Dude, where
She
you
won
went is
every game.
literally where you went is literally less than 10 minutes from.
Dang, all right. Should have met up with you.
You should have pinged me,
Could
dude.
have
Yeah.
done like a co-op podcast.
Yeah, not to
But yeah, no,
dox
it was really
myself,
cool.
but I guess I'm doxing myself. Whatever.
Are you like right off, like right next to Jordan Creek, or are you like a walking distance? Are you over near that ramen shop or across the street? Like, where are you at?
Yeah, my address is. No, I'm just kidding.
So I've got his IP address here. I'll just put it on screen, guys. Don't worry about it.
Oh, there we go. Just flash that up there for Patreon members only.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, so I did that,
Des
and it was really neat.
Moines a big
It was
enough
very
city.
cool. Des Moines is a pretty big city. People don't realize
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so that was my achievement today. Was I got home late, and before I knew the podcast was coming up and everything was going, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just get on Phasmophobia and I'm just gonna load up maps and pick Banshee over and over again until I got that achievement.
Nice.
But so you can do that for a lot of those. But yeah, those apocalypse achievements are gonna be. I'm a little worried.
Yeah.
We will see though.
Yeah.
They stack, so I'm gonna go straight to gold.
Yeah. Of
Because if I
course.
get the gold
Yeah.
and
I mean,
just get
you
the bronze,
saw
whatever.
what a seasoned Phasmophobia veteran estimated that how long that list is to complete, right? Or
No,
did you not?
nah.
Do you want me to tell
I'm
you, or do
playing
you
for-
want to figure it out?
I have to prestige 3 times, so I've got a good idea.
Yes.
Okay.
But again, I'm
yeah.
having a lot of fun. I'm playing with my friends, I'll take my sweet time. I think I could add more achievements later on, so I'm not in a huge hurry.
Yeah.
But and then for my third one, one of my oldest achievement hunting buddies, he has been stationed in Japan for, God, it was before the pandemic, I think, or was it during the pandemic? It's been a good while now. I've known him since my daughter was like 2. Like we have been he was one of my first achievement hunting buddies and stuff like that. So he effed off to Japan, Okinawa. He's been stationed there for a while now. But he just hit me up recently and we are doing what's it called? It's a long name. Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer comrades.
Oh yeah, God, I haven't played that game in ages.
Yeah. Yeah, he finished it. He just needed me for that final achievement for doing the secret mission because you need a second player. So he's just power living me through it. And I'm only playing with him. So when he invites me, I'm like, cool, let's go. And he'll power level me through it for like an hour or two, which honestly, probably after this podcast, I think he's gonna invite me. And yeah. It's neat, I guess. I don't know.
It's a fun little
I liked
idea.
it.
What the point of it
I
is.
didn't play Comrades, but I played the Comrades DLC for 15, and I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, from what I can tell, I would enjoy it if I was playing it legitimately.
Yeah, if you had like a team of 4 or whatever,
yeah,
I think it would be.
Yeah. This seems like the kind of game that would itch my brain good. But again, I am literally, he's like, I'll drag you through it. I'm like, cool, I'll buy it. You do that for me. So that's literally my experience with it. As I load up, he's like a little 40 or something. He just blows me through it. And then I'm like, cool, see you later. All right. I don't know what happened, but I survived.
Final Fantasy 15 Comrades is how I met Nev, actually. Fun fact.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Literally through TA forums. I was literally just like, these servers are shutting down. Who wants to do it? And I was like, yeah, add me. And that's how I met Nev.
Oh, amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Sean, I actually met through his name's Sean 1991, and he I met him through Saints Row when I was doing that. I had just come back from my cruise for my daughter's second birthday, and I'm like, hey, Saints Row, and I met him, and that's how long we've been playing.
Jeez.
But and now we do all those games because we did Saints Row 1, which, man, pimping ain't easy. I gotta tell you, that was rough.
Yeah.
And then Saints Row 2 was way better, and then that's always been the in-joke because we do all those games together. So, but yeah, no, that's kind of been what I've been playing. I just looked at my achievement list, and that's all I played this week is Phasmophobia and Power World. So, the highlight of the week was definitely Top Golf. That was so cool. I cannot express how unbelievable. I don't golf. I don't golf. My daughter does not golf, but we had a fantastic time. That was so neat. You definitely need to go, Jake, as soon as possible.
Yeah, I've been meaning to. It's been on my list of things to do here for sure.
It blew away all my expectations for that. Like I think it would have been neat if it was just it's just golf, but with score tracking.
Sure.
But the fact that you can play Sonic and Angry Birds.
Yeah, you telling me there's games makes me want to do it even more. Like I literally was down to. I knew it was like just a range that served alcohol. I literally was down at that sold me. I was ready. I'm like, I could go hit some golf balls and drink a fucking old fashioned. Like that sounded great. But now to hear there's like games you can play with it, I'm even more like in.
Yeah. My daughter's playing Sonic and she's whooping me and I'm going, boo, child, while I'm sipping a margarita and eating wings. Like it was fantastic. Great time.
Like I'm not a golfer for sure, but like a range is just fun because you like don't have to golf. You're literally just like, here's a ball, here's a big pointy big stick. I'm gonna just
you get to do the fun part of golf. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty if there's need achievements, it'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we actually turned on like just golf range. We're like, oh, try this out. It was the worst part. We were right back to Sonic. Like this is way better. So but yeah, no, that's all I've been playing. Just mostly trying to play with other people, be a little social.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. That's a great thing to do, actually. All right, we've got the leaderboards. So I am in 6th place. I'm just going to point out this week, but we got some lower scores this week, which is a bit of a surprise. But I guess people are calming down a little bit as the end of the year comes about. Jimbot UK with 4,480. We got Martel with 6,160, and we got Thrash Forever with 7,480. Yeah, a bit of a far cry from the 20,000s and 30,000s we've been seeing over the last few weeks, but still some high numbers though.
I'll take not last. I'm down.
Yeah, that works. And if you'd like to join the leaderboards, give us a shout. We can chuck you on them. They're on TA, and you can get your name read out on the show. Speaking of names getting read out, completions. Jake, do you want to go through those?
I would love to. We had Bottle of Sharks complete What Remains of Edith Finch, left Alfred Ed Pills here, Jumper, Griffin Stories, Blender, The Arrival, and Fuzzball. ZNMS finished Mad Street and Hello Neighbor 2. Rapture finished A Short Hike and Rollerdrome. The Moonzom finished Black Ops 6 already, GG's. Left 4 Legacy finished World War Z, that is a toughie, also GG's. And Professor Pluto finished Far Cry New Dawn. Well done, all of you.
Great job, guys.
Jumper shout out. That's kind of weird to hear.
He said it was the worst game he's ever played. So,
man, he's got to play.
I was gonna say like that's not even like top 10 of the worst games I've played. It's not good, nope. But it's completable. Word challenge, everyone's favorite competition that is now over because fucking Legacy ruined it for everyone by getting it on the first week. How dare that motherfucker guess Jade Empire? Yes,
that's crazy.
I picked Jade Empire because I love it and it's a great game. But the only fucking clue I gave was that the game has multiple combat styles. Like,
yeah, that's Jade Empire. That's the only game that ever had.
Literally the only one. I can't fucking believe it. So, congratulations, Legacy. I'm gonna send you your money. But we are going to wrap up the word challenge there. It's going to be the last one that we do, at least for a while. We're going to take a bit of a break from it. But thank you to everyone who's competed in it. I've loved running it. It's been great just seeing the kind of thought process people have been going through and all that kind of stuff. So thanks all so much for that. And that's going to bring us to the end of the show. As always, we do the show live on Twitch, Xbox Hall of Gamers, place to find us. Come say hi, hang out in the chat, watch the VODs. I also put the show up on YouTube. If you want to catch our videos of the past episodes, Char does a wonderful thumbnail each time. Otherwise, we're on every audio platform on demand. We also have a Discord. I need to get the link up on the screen here because it's impossible to read out. But Discord is where we all kind of hang out. That's Xbox Hall of Gamers on there. So come say hi. We're all really, really nice. We talk about video games, talk about the news, post memes and stuff, the usual stuff. Again, it's a Discord server. You guys understand how social media works. But that's pretty much it. Jake, have you got anything you want to show?
Yeah, you can find me at Top Golf.
Fair. Yeah. Fair.
I'm gonna meet him there. We're gonna get blasted.
This sounds like a Patreon special to me.
No, I mean you can. It's same as every week. You can add me on Discord. Just Jake SD. I'm either just Jake SD or Repturners 3000 on every platform known to man, and mostly in Hall of Gamers and the Achievement Hunter Anonymous podcast. I always tell people I'm not a hard person to find if you look hard enough.
Fair. Shane, what about you?
firehawkd.com. You can find links to all my stuff and my blog, and I am firehawkd on everything except for Twitch, which I'm firehawkd_Xbox, and I'm on Blue Sky now too. So
yeah, me too. I just joined that this week actually.
I also just joined this week.
I think it was like millions of people just joined it this week too.
Yeah.
So.
$1 million per day.
I was like, let me give it a shot, I guess. Yeah. I haven't really, other than the first sign on, I haven't really went back, but it's a weird thing of like, okay, let me try it out because it's maybe the cooler place to hang out, but also like I could probably just do with removing a social media platform that I use.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Like if I really want to get off one, maybe I don't need to replace it. I could just get off the one.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here, let's get on Blue Sky, and then we're gonna go to Top Golf, and then next week we're just gonna be the golfing channel.
Yeah,
we'll be like, we
go.
Top Golf spinoff sounds like
really
a great
nice
idea for this community.
Yeah,
I'm super behind this.
I'm in.
And I'm Neomaster on everything, True Achievements, Xbox, and Discord, as always, if you need to get a hold of me for whatever reason. All right, well, that was episode 149, I think. Yeah, 149. Fuck, we're nearly at 150 next week. That's crazy to think about. We will catch you guys next week. See you later.
Peace.
Peace out.
Shane, you don't have to edit around this, right?
No, leave it in.
Oh, it's staying in.